You can say what you want about the Avs picking Josh Anderson, but you can't deny that he's one of the Avs' most consistent prospects. I, like many others, questioned the Avs taking Anderson in the third round, and I still don't think that's a particularly good pick. But if you look past that and set your expectations for the type of player that Josh Anderson is, he really did pretty solidly in what was expected of him this year. Anderson did not show particularly well in the Avs preseason rookie tournament and was quickly sent home in camp. Returning to the Prince George Cougars, Anderson went right back into his standard role for that team, which was a heavy-hitting defensive defenseman. His style fit very well there. To take a phrase from Earl 06 over at Burgundy Rainbow, the Prince George play style was to win a game 1-0 with one shot on goal. Anderson played huge minutes for that team, and while he chipped in occasionally on offense, that certainly wasn't much of his game, and it wasn't something he was asked to do either. For Anderson to end up on the highlight reel was much more likely to look something like this instead of picking up points. This was also Anderson's fourth year in Major Juniors, as he made Prince George as a 16-year-old back in the 14-15 season. That was surely part of the reason why he wore an A on his chest for Prince George and was part of that leadership core. Prince George was not a particularly good team this year, and at the deadline, Anderson was shipped out to the Swift Current Broncos. The better and more offensively minded Swift Current team allowed Josh more freedom, not only to just play less defensively, but at times to even actively get involved in the offense. Now, it's not like Anderson completely started lighting it up or anything, but he did show that he could at least function in the offensive zone, which was something he never really showed in Prince George. By the end of the regular season, Swift Current was one of the best teams in the WHL, and heading into the playoffs, they did reel Anderson back a little bit and assigned him to more of those defensive duties again. It was a grueling playoffs for Swift Current, and Josh Anderson's ability to munch minutes definitely came in handy for them. Starting in the first round series, they faced other Avs prospect Nick Henry and the Regina Pats. Swift Current would come out on top in that one in 7 games. They would go 7 games again in the second round against one of the favorites in the WHL, the Moose Jaw Warriors, win that one, and then would go 6 games in both the third round and the finals to win the WHL. A nice cherry on top for Anderson there. Winning the league means Anderson and Swift Current got to go to the Memorial Cup this year, but the long playoff run definitely took its toll. Hosted in Regina, Nick Henry got his revenge in beating Swift Current, and then they would fall in 2 more straight games against 2 very good teams in Hamilton and Acadie Bathurst. Anderson would end up signing his ELC with the Avs during the playoff run with Swift Current, so he at very least earned that. Ultimately, Josh Anderson scored 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 points in 54 regular season games. On top of that, he added 2 assists in 26 playoff games, and he also participated in 3 Memorial Cup games as well. On the season, I'm going to give Josh Anderson a C+ grade, and that might seem a little bit generous, maybe it is, but ultimately, Anderson did show progress this year. I'm still not convinced he really has a path to the NHL, and he still has a lot to prove at the pro level, but he has at least earned a shot to play at the pro level. If nothing else, he should at least make a good system defenseman for the Avalanche, following in the footsteps of players like Duncan Siemens or Mason Geertsen. So for now, Josh Anderson gets a passing grade, but it's going to be a big mountain to climb next year. That is the end of this player's season review. Thank you for watching. I don't have highlights of Anderson because frankly there just aren't that many, but if the 2019 draft is something you're interested in, I've been working on a project over at Burgundy Rainbow that I really encourage you to check out. It's going to have a ton of video footage. In fact, it already has a number of shift by shifts for prospects out there, so you can check out that link down below, or if you're watching this on Burgundy Rainbow, just hit that draft center button right up there somewhere. I'm Rudo3, and we're really in the middle of off season now.